We are doing the 24-hour reading challenge. I'm actually really excited about this because I've seen a lot of people doing this lately and I always thought that it looked like fun. So I'm gonna see how it goes for me. Now, I'm not gonna do the 24 hours in a single day like I've seen a lot of people do, just because I love sleeping and I'm not willing to give that up. And also, I'm a mood reader, so I don't want to force myself to read when I don't feel like reading. Now, you also might think that I have a TBR, which I do, kind of. Like I mentioned, I'm a mood reader, so I have options to choose from. I know I'm not going to read all these books, but they are there for me to choose from. The first one that I have, I think, is the book that I'm going to start with, and it's Tempting Venom by Rina. This came out a few days ago, I want to say, and I've seen a lot of hype, like people being excited about this, and that made me excited as well. Although I didn't read the first and second book, I started reading the first book. I think it's called Beautiful Venom, a while back. I only read, I believe, 6% through, and I soft DNF'd it. I might go back and read that. I was just not in the mood for it at the time. I did read Hunt the Villain this year and Kiss the Villain by her as well. I loved Hunt the Villain. I give that 5 stars, and Kiss the Villain I liked. I gave 3 stars, and that's mainly because I don't know how to feel about Caden. I've also read God of Wrath by Rina, I think last year or 2 years ago, I'm not quite sure. And I remember really liking that as well. That's Jeremy and Cecily's book from the Legacy of Gods series. I did start and got 50% through God of Fury, but I stopped DNF that as well. I'm going to read it again, probably from the very beginning, because I don't really remember that much. I stopped DNF'd it because it wasn't the book. It was me at the time. I really was not in the mood for it. So for now, I've only read Kiss the Villain, Hunt the Villain, God of Wrath, and 50% through God of Fury. So I want to read God of Fury again, but I also want to try God of Ruin and what's the other one? God of Pain, which is Creighton and Annika's book. Because I don't think God of Malice, I've heard things about it. I don't think that's for me. And I didn't really like Ava that much when I read God of Wrath, so I don't know if I'm going to ever read God of War either. So Tempting Venom will probably be the book that I'm gonna start with. I have that on my Kindle, but other options that I have on my Kindle that I'm in the mood to read as well is Belladonna by Adalyn Grace. I only know this is a romantasy. I have the first and second book on my Kindle, and I have been meaning to read this for a while. And I also have 3 Ali Hazelwood books in case I feel like reading a contemporary romance. I have Love on the Brain, Love Theoretically, and The Love Hypothesis. I might read the last one just because I know the movie is supposed to come out soon. Maybe, I think. But speaking of contemporary romance, I also have Flawless by Elsie Silver. I believe this is a cowboy romance. And I don't know if Flawless is the first one. I think so. I don't really care that much about interconnected standalones in the sense that I have to read them in order. Most of the times, if it's an interconnected standalone series, I'm just gonna read the books that I'm interested in, and if I like those, I might go back and read the other ones, you know? Because the same happened with God of Wrath that I mentioned before by Rina, and that's the 3rd book in the Legacy of God series. So because I like that one, now I'm going to go back and read some of the other books, not in order, but still read some of them. If it's interconnected standalones and all of the books are out, or most of the books are out, I most likely will not read that in order. I will read the books that I want to read first in the series. But I feel like I'm just yapping at this point. Anyways, and I also have some audiobooks options. The first one being The Foxhole by Nora Sakavic. This is a reread for me, and I've been meaning to read this for a while again. So I feel like this is the perfect time. And then I also have Arch-Conspirator by Veronica Roth. I think this is a short novella as well because it's only 3 hours and 20 minutes. I know nothing about this and I don't really need to. I wanted to read something else by Veronica Roth after reading and loving When a Monk Grows. So that's why this is on my list. And last but not least, I have The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I feel like everyone has read this but me at this point. But those are all my options for the 24-hour reading challenge. Again, I'm not gonna read all of these books. Now I think I'm gonna go get started on Tempting Venom, just because that's the one that I'm most excited about, considering all the hype that has been going around these past few days. So I have read for 5 hours and 40 minutes and I am 53% through Tempting Venom. Now listen, I feel like this is on me for having high hopes, high expectations, whatever you want to call it. After reading and loving Hunt the Villain, I gave that 5 stars and has become one of my favorite books of the year and one of my favorite romances now as well. But I think I have the same issues with Tempting Venom that I had with God of Fury, which I know that it's a me problem, like I know. But that is that I like Marcus, I just don't like Preston that much. And it's not that I don't like him as a character, because I do. I just don't like the way that he treats Marcus, which I can understand if it happens at the beginning of the book, 30% through the book, fine. With everything going on with their families, their past, them being on different hacking teams, I get it. But I'm more than halfway through and I don't see much improvement there, or not at all. And that's kind of bugging me, not gonna lie. Also, I feel like this might be a spoiler if you have not read Sweet Venom, which I haven't, but I've spoiled myself through social media. So I'm just warning you in case you want to skip this part. But I think I know how this is going to end. Like, I know the direction that is going in. And that's also kind of a letdown because there's not much anticipation there. I feel like I'm only complaining, but at the end of the day, I'm actually enjoying this. Like, I'm having a good time. And it's fun, it's entertaining, and I cannot ask for more from my dark romances. So I will let you know my final thoughts when I finish it, because I probably will not update it until then. So yeah, I will let you know my final thoughts tomorrow. So I'm 70% through Tempting Venom, and I have to say, I'm a bit tired of this push and pull between Preston and Marcus, because we are 70% through the book. Like, why are we still doing this? I feel like Marcus would go after Preston over and over again, and then Preston would pull away and run away, and then they spend some time apart, send messages back and forth, and then we start over again. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but yeah. I have some updates, and no, I haven't finished Tempting Venom yet, but I wanted to talk about the Foxhole by Nora Sakavic because I started the audiobook and I'm already on chapter 10. That doesn't seem like much, but this book only has 14 chapters. So that's page 170 out of 250, I think. So I only have like 80 pages left to go. This is actually a reread for me. I read this a few years back and I remember loving them. And I wanted to see if I still like them as much as I did the first time. And I'm glad to say that I do. I feel like this is gonna be my new personality for the few next weeks. I don't know how to explain what this is about, so I'm just gonna read you the back. I feel like that's the best option. It says, Neil Johnston is the newest addition to the Palmetto State University Exit team. Exit is a made-up sport, by the way. He's short, he's fast, he's got a ton of potential, and he's the runaway son of the murderous crime lord known as the Butcher. Signing a contract with the Foxes is the last thing a guy like Neil should do. The team is high profile, and he doesn't need sports crew broadcasting pictures of his face around the nation. His lies will hold up only so long under this kind of scrutiny, and the truth will get him killed. But Neil's not the only one with secrets on the team. One of Neil's new teammates is a friend from his old life, and Neil can walk away from him a second time. Neil has survived the last 8 years by running. Maybe he's finally found someone and something worth fighting for. I know this is not for everyone. Like, these are very difficult books to read, full of trigger warnings. I'm not joking. Like, please be mindful of that if you decide to pick them up and check everything before starting reading them. Especially the second book, there is a very graphic scene that happens on page, and I'm not looking forward to reading that again, so I might skip it. These books are not easy reads. So that being said, I think I'm just gonna go finish Tempting Venom as well. And I think I believe I have around 6 hours and something left of the readathon. So by the time I finish these two, I will still have around 5 hours left. I don't know if I should pick up the second book or just pick something else that it's a bit more fluffy. There's no way I'm gonna finish a book in 5 hours, but I will let you know when I do pick something else up. I'm here to wrap up this challenge and to wrap up this vlog as well. I feel like this is gonna be all over the place. My apologies. I also forgot to film the timing thing on my phone, so I guess you'll just have to believe me. This was actually fun. I thought 24 hours was gonna be more. I thought that 24 hours would feel longer than it actually felt like. But I managed to read 2 books and a little bit of a third one. So I finished Tempting Venom. I'm gonna stand by what I said in my previous updates. I like this. I'm glad I read it. I had fun. But I just wish we would have seen less of that push and pull and more of them being together, because I feel like they were together for only 5 minutes. Also, for most of this book, nothing really goes on plot-wise, but then everything happens and wraps up so quickly. So I guess I would have loved to see more of that ending as well. But again, I had fun. 3 stars. 3 stars is not a bad rating. Like, no. Still, Vaughn and Julian are my favorites for now. Next, I finished my reread of The Foxhole Court. 5 stars. I'm so happy that I've managed to reread this. Now, I know I've said this a million times, but please check the trigger warning if you plan on picking these books up. Even if you believe that you don't have any or that you are used to reading darker books, I would still advise you to check them before picking any of these books up. But I'm excited to finish my reread of the next 2 books so I can get to the Sunshine Court, which I haven't read yet, so it would be my first time reading it. But after finishing Tempting Venom and The Foxhole Court, I picked up, I needed something a little bit lighter, so I started Flawless by Elsie Silver. Since I only had a few hours left of the readathon, I don't know if it was like 4 hours or something like that, I only managed to get to 27% of the book. I probably should tell you what this is about. So it's a cowboy romance where we follow Summer, whose dad works as an agent for all these famous people, right? And one of them is a cowboy who needs to be on his best behavior after some videos of him online sparked debate between people, and some of his sponsors just don't want to work with him anymore. That's why his agent sends his own daughter, Summer, who works for him, to basically babysit him and ensure that he's on his best behavior for the next few months. Of course, none of them like each other in the beginning, but we know where this is going. I'm liking both Summer and what's his name? Red? Is it Reed or is it Red? Either way, I'm liking both of them. And I'm excited to read, I think it's Heartless, the second book. I think it's Heartless. I heard that that's the best one in the series. Look at me actually reading an interconnected standalone in order. But I will finish Flawless for my next reading vlog. So you will probably get my final thoughts then. And I think this is everything for now. I will see you in my next one. Bye bye.